Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. Welcome to That's Football. This is the match reaction, and I tell you what, that's a very big result for Liverpool. It may only be 1-0, but I don't normally put the stats up. But the reason I put them up there is because when you've had 17 shots and 9 on target to their 2, that is 1-0 probably flattered Real Madrid. Courtois was their man of the match as well. And I think a lot of us would look at that tonight and go, that is probably going to be a loss for Liverpool. Yes, they played well against Villa, but they haven't played well for about a month. And you would have thought Real Madrid, top of La Liga, doing very, very well with the players they've got, were going to cause Liverpool some issues tonight. And I think that's why it's such a big result for Liverpool. They were never going to go from, you're never going to turn a switch. When you're playing as badly as Liverpool have, you're never going to turn a switch. You've got to build confidence. And I think we saw the signs of that against Aston Villa. And then tonight, we saw a step further as well. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens at Man City on Sunday because Liverpool are building confidence. And it's a little bit of part two, really, to what we said after the Villa game. The Andy Robertson selection, to me, it's not everything, but it's symbolic. Like, Slot has obviously brought players in to build his own future. And it's a good idea. He's got to build his own future. But I think what he's done in the last couple of games is very intelligent. He's got to also respect what happened last season. And whilst he can't pick certain players because they're not at the club anymore, there are some that he wasn't picking that he needs to go back to because what Liverpool need is a bit of stability, a little bit of confidence, and a bit of a platform. And if you look at the start of the season, Wirtz playing in the midfield, Kerkez at left back, Frimpong sometimes at right back. What he's doing now is Robertson and Bradley at full-back, and they're reliable. And then back to the midfield of McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. And I don't think their front three of Salah, Ekitike and Wirtz were that good in this game. I thought they were okay, but I thought the defence and the midfield were superb, and that was the platform to give them the result. And Liverpool suddenly look a lot better for it. So I thought they were very, very good tonight, a step forward from the Villa game. And this is why, as much as it's enjoyable as a Man United fan to see Liverpool fail, and it was very enjoyable to go there and beat them, that Liverpool we saw tonight is the best I've seen Liverpool play this season. Because you've got to play well to beat Real Madrid. Like, we've seen Spanish clubs come to Premier League grounds in the Champions League before and not be great. And I certainly think the set pieces in the Premier League at the moment are killing people from Europe. We saw it with Frankfurt last time out for Liverpool, and we saw it again today. I mean, they had 3 crosses in the first minute or so of the second half where they nearly scored from all of them, and Courtois was superb, and it's obviously a McAllister free kick that wins it. But Liverpool thoroughly deserved to win that game, and their best performance of the season against a very, very good side is just going to give them more of that thing I spoke about after the Villa game, which is confidence. The way Liverpool will get back is through confidence. 2 clean sheets in 2 games. They're scoring goals. They're creating chances. And they're all things that weren't really happening with great frequency. They weren't getting clean sheets and they weren't creating good opportunities. They look more like Liverpool of last season tonight than they've done all season. So it's a big game. But look, I said after the Villa game, well, it's all right beating Villa, but you've got Real Madrid on Tuesday. And tonight I'm saying it's all right beating Villa and Real Madrid. You've got to go to Man City on Sunday. But if they can play anywhere near like they did tonight, then they've got a chance against Manchester City. Man City will be favourites for that because Man City are playing well. But Liverpool will go into that with big confidence. And even if they go there and get a draw, I think they can build upon that after the international break as well. Why was it so comfortable for Liverpool? I think they just look more familiar. They look more compatible. There's more rhythm to their game. That back 4 knows each other. That midfield 3 know each other. There's nothing new to learn there. They know each other, and I think we've highlighted the Robertson and Kerkez thing, but with Kerkez in that team, I think Kerkez will probably be a decent player for Liverpool. It can take time to settle in, but for now, if Liverpool are winning every single game as they were at the start of the season, then I watched Liverpool win their first 5 games, and I thought Kerkez didn't look anything like he did against Bournemouth, but they were winning. So it's fine. You can afford to keep settling in. But as soon as the losses came, and he's still not performing, at that point you've got to go, right, we've got to get back to what we know here. And I think that's what they've done really, really well. I actually thought, Courtois for Real Madrid was very good, but I thought their left back, formerly of Man United, typically we've let him go, Carreras, I thought he played very well against Salah. I thought Salah was quite quiet again. There's moments of quality, but he still looks a long way off it, doesn't he, Mo Salah? But look, the big thing for Liverpool is winning that game, and even when in the context of the Champions League, I think it's an important performance for them as well. So, big result for Liverpool. Well done for them. Obviously, Arsenal had won earlier in the night. I thought Bayern Munich were brilliant tonight, by the way. So pleased that they got that result against PSG, because another Liverpool man, Luis Diaz, definitely deserved to get sent off there, and hopefully the Hakimi injury isn't going to be too bad, because it was a particularly bad tackle. But look, a really good Champions League night. Liverpool deserved to win it. That's why I don't normally put the stats up, but Liverpool deserved to win that game. There's no fortune. Real Madrid were poor. As for the booing of Trent, by the way, I think that's going to end up being another headline tonight and tomorrow, and maybe people like Rio Ferdinand will stick their nose in again and say it's unacceptable. Look, I think the reason people stick their nose in is because they probably relate it to themselves, and they can imagine what it must be like to play for a club that you've played a lot of games for and won things for, to be being booed by your fans. I think some people look at it and go, I can't believe that's happening. As I said before, from the outside in, he ran his contract down for the club that he loves in his mid-20s, and Liverpool got nothing. And throughout that time of running his contract down, he made out that, he hadn't made his mind up. And then he turned up and did an interview in Spanish that made it look like he'd been speaking it for ages. So some people didn't really give a shit and applauded him, and some people booed him. It's Liverpool fans' journey to walk. It's Liverpool's shoes to wear. And I've always said I'm not a big fan of booing, unless it's like pantomime booing. But football's a very passionate sport, and we can't, on the one hand, say we love how we support our clubs and the tribalism of that, and then say you can't do that and you can't do that. I think it's a lesson in... I've always said about Liverpool, they would never, ever have put up with Anfield having to be knocked down, like Old Trafford will be. And they would never, ever put up with the Glazers as long as we have. Which means there's something about Liverpool that's a bit different from every other club. Whether that's a negative or a positive, they are very unique in the way that they support their football club. So if they are unique in the way they support their football club, I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell them how to support that football club. I don't think it's our place to do that. And if they feel strongly about Trent and they want to do that, then that's up to them, isn't it? Obviously, everyone else can have their own opinion, but I don't think they can be told you shouldn't be doing that, because there's probably a bloody good reason why they are. But no, it wasn't a good night for Real Madrid, was it, anyway? And honestly, I think Real Madrid are the best team in Spain this year, and they look decent, but I'm not convinced that Real Madrid side is going to be going deep into the Champions League this year. Things can change across the season, but look, watching Bayern and PSG, they look like the two best teams in Europe. And I class the Premier League as separate to that. I think PSG and Bayern are going to be the two clubs that could win it outside of the Premier League, and it's on the Premier League to see if they can do it. And funnily enough, I think set pieces could be very important in Europe as much as it is in the Prem as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Get your comments in. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you on the next one.